open. So this topic was sparked by none other than the great Stephen A. Smith. All right, he has the stance that Kawhi Leonard is the worst superstar in the history of the NBA. All right, now I strongly disagree with that. I think it's a ridiculous take. But you said you don't think Kawhi Leonard is a superstar at all, right?
I don't think he's quite there yet. He's like between a star and a superstar.
So you think he's between the star and the superstar?
He's
All right,
he's a
so
he's a starry star.
I'm a, I require for you to explain yourself of how Kawhi Leonard is not a superstar. Cause you kind of on like your stance is a little stronger than Stephen A.'s stance. So
It ain't that much stronger, but I feel like this. If you a superstar, ain't superstars. Maybe let me go through some stats first. Kawhi's season stats in all his seasons, he's averaging 26-5.
Okay.
He's won 2 NBA Finals, right? His first NBA Finals, he went to with San Antonio. He averaged 15, 11, and 1. His second Finals with San Antonio, and he got the final MVP. I don't know why he averaged 18, 6, and 2. That's something a bench player would get. But then the one with the Raptors, he averaged 29, 10, and 5. But his last 2, he got Finals MVPs. So it seemed like they just giving those out to anybody. Because I remember Andre Iguodala got one for whatever reason. But with him, I'm just going through stats. I'm going through facts. They're not in no particular order. Like people say, his talent is not the question. His availability is. To be a superstar, ain't superstar like available for their team in like dire moments or big games, things like that. One Mike there, one LeBron there, ain't Steph Curry there, yep. Ain't all the superstars there. That's what makes you a superstar. And another thing to me,
you're right about that.
He's very soft spoken. Superstars to me are vocal. Like it's time you don't even know that he was on the court. But just some facts, he's not available for playoff games. He averaged 40 games a season for the last 4 years. Superstars don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember on me and you used to play the game together. When the player get that injury prone thing, he got to get released. He got to get released.
You was gone, especially if you was once you hit that 30 mark.
But in his last 2 playoffs games, he's averaging 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. This is a superstar that you're talking about. Fucking 6 man a year get that. The 6 player off the bench get that. He's getting paid max money, but he's playing the least amount of games for your team. That the highest paid player is getting the least amount of playing time. Since joining the Clippers, he's missed 151 out of 344 games.
Mm-hmm.
Is that superstars?
I mean, injuries. Like you can't.
Okay. You can't be a superstar if you're injured.
Okay.
I got a couple. I got. What else I got? I got one more. To be called a superstar, superstars are potential faces of the league.
Mm.
Can you see Kawhi being the face of the NBA?
I don't think you have to be the face of the league to be a superstar, though.
You don't, but potentially.
Tim Duncan. Because he didn't have the personality to be the face of the league, right? It's more to being the face of the league than just your game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be something that attracts people to you. Like, Tim Duncan would win, but nobody wanted to just watch Tim Duncan on the block doing turnaround bank shots. So he couldn't become the face of the league just because his popularity wouldn't have been there. Like, Allen Iverson you can say Allen Iverson was the face of the league at one time, but he didn't produce nearly as good as Tim Duncan, right? So it's more to the being a face. So that I would disagree with. I would disagree with the face of the league part. I think you have to be a superstar to be considered the face of the league, but I don't think, you know what I'm saying, you have to be eligible to be the face of the league to be a superstar, if that makes sense.
Now that's why I said potential faces.
Okay.
Another thing, what the hell? It just popped. It's like Greg Popovich. He's producing these silent stars. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
It's like only thing that I remember Kawhi Leonard for is two things: him being injured and that laugh. That's the only thing I really remember him from. That's it. Hey, Kawhi. It's like I can't see him on the court dominating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not him. That's why I say he's between a star, and a superstar. I can't give him that. Even though he won 2 championships with 2 Finals MVPs, like I said, I don't know. I got averaging 18, 6, and 2, and got a Finals MVP, and Tim Duncan was on the team. So I mean, I can't see it, but I know you probably got some things to run down because this one you've been talking about this subject for a minute. So I'm gonna give you the floor.
All right. So first, let me play the clip by Stephen A. Smith, right? And see what he said. But I'm gonna speak on some of the things that you said first before I get to the clip. All right. So Kawhi Leonard, just a few things, right? He's a 1-time steal champ, like you said, 2-time NBA champ, 6-time All NBA, 7-time All Defensive, 2 times Finals MVP, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year as a perimeter player, right? He was the 2019-2020 All-Star MVP. Let's see, what else we got here? He finished in the top 5 of MVP voting. All right, he was second in 2015-2016. He was third in 2016-2017. All right, he was 9th, in 2018-2019. He was 5th in 2019-2020. All right. That's a superstar, man. Like, during Kawhi's prime, he was the best two-way player in the league. Right? When they went up against
100%.
When they went up against the Raptors, right? And Giannis was having his way with him. When the coach was talking about making adjustments, Kawhi Leonard said, the adjustment we're going to make, I'm guarding Giannis. And look at Giannis before then and after then. Right? Kawhi Leonard has played some of the best perimeter defense that we've seen since Scottie Pippen. Right? And he's clutch. You want the ball in Kawhi Leonard's hand in clutch time. All right, now, the part that you're talking about with the injuries and, right, like, yes, he's been injured. But injuries is part of the game. Now, if he was injured because he wasn't putting the work in, I would agree with you, right? But by all accounts, from ex-teammates, current teammates, coaches, executives, in the offseason, Kawhi Leonard put the work in to get as healthy as possible. So if he gets hurt, does that make him, like, do you take his superstar status away from him? Because there's a lot of people who we consider superstars that get hurt, right? Across all sports. Like, injuries happen. But I definitely think he qualifies as a superstar. Now, what Stephen A. said about Kawhi being the worst superstar ever. Can you see that? Right?
I can't see.
If you put him in the superstar category, could you see Stephen A. being right about that?
I can't. On my only issue with Kawhi is Kawhi ain't playing. Talent wise, talent. See, this is him when he's playing superstar.
Right.
But then, he's hurt. Oh, he's hurt again this year. Oh, he's hurt again. I got to bring it down so because they signed you to all this money to play and win championships. You can't.
Because you're saying he's a superstar. He plays at the superstar level, but for you, it's just availability.
It's availability. Talent is not the question. It's availability.
Okay, so let's play the Stephen A. Smith clip real quick.
I don't mean this towards the both of you. This is not directed at you, Andrea, nor you, Jay. I'm just talking about basketball analysts out there who praise Kawhi Leonard so much. I'm sick of y'all. I'm really sick of y'all. This is the worst superstar. Now, the word superstar is applicable here because he is a superstar when healthy on the basketball court. This is not a conversation about his ability when healthy. He is a two-time champion, a two-time NBA Finals MVP. The brother is a big-time basketball player. Jay, this is not a discussion about his skills and how elite he is. This is the worst superstar. I can make a case this is the worst superstar in the history of sports. He is a nightmare. You're talking about the first 4 years of his time with the Clippers, he's averaged 40.3 games a year.
Your point?
40.3. He played 68 games this past year, and then again he wasn't available to players. Do you know that Kawhi Leonard hasn't been available for 15 of the last 19 Clippers playoff games? Do you know that the year that they went to the conference finals, which by the way was without him because he got hurt before they got to the conference finals, do you know they haven't won a playoff series since? And this man somehow, some way, first let me confess, I'm kind of jealous. I'm kind of jealous, Jay, because somehow, some way, no matter what his lack of availability is, don't you notice how that's never the issue? Come negotiating time, right around the time it's time to negotiate, the brother available. Right around the time it's time for him to get his money, he's on the court. Right around the time it's time for him to get his money, you see him in a Clipper uniform, all right? But then, the second the man get his money, you got an APB out for him. Hey, you can't find him, okay? And then here's the thing. This is the thing, because that's injury-related, Andrea, and I get that. Put him up on the screen because I want to look at Jay and Andrea. That's injury-related, so I get it. Andrea, where I'm so disgusted with him, he makes no effort to promote the game, to promote his team, to promote the NBA brand. Zero.
All right, so that was Stephen A. Smith, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Like, I strongly disagree with this, and it's kind of an irritating take to have, right? Because what he was trying to imply, without actually saying it, is that he's trying to say Kawhi fakes his injuries, right? And until contract time, that's what he's trying to say, right? He don't want to just say those words, but he won't say it, right? But that's what he's saying. He's saying, Kawhi's always injured until contract time. So if you feel like the man is faking injuries, then just man up, stop being scared, and just go out and say that the man fakes injuries. He's not going to do that because he knows Kawhi got a whole list of current, former teammates, coaches, and executives that would come at Stephen A. head if he said that. So he's not going to quite go there. Now, y'all issue is availability. And I get that. But did Ja Morant play this year?
No.
No. Why did he not play?
Because he got suspended.
He got suspended this year
That's
for
different.
stuff. And he got hurt. Wait a minute. He got suspended, but that's not the first time he got suspended for gun stuff, right? Okay, so Kawhi ain't never got any legal trouble. He don't bring any negative light to your franchise, right? As an owner, as a GM, as a coach, you can go to sleep at night, perfectly fine, not assuming that your phone gonna ring because your superstar is out doing dumb stuff. Can we agree with that? Okay. Does that not make you a worse superstar than Kawhi? Because he ain't achieved nothing that Kawhi has on the positive end, but yeah, he's getting suspended for flashing guns like he's some thug. All right, that's all right. So let's start again. Injuries, right? Kawhi's injuries have come from playing on the court, and he's also known for being a workhorse in the gym and getting healthy. What about Zion Williams? What's the knock on Zion?
He's too fucking fat.
He just won't get in shape. So he won't even put the work in that a professional athlete is expected to do. That's the basics. That's the bare minimum. And Zion won't do that.
Want me to tell you why?
I guarantee you, if we gave you Zion's contract, you'd be in the best shape of your life. And not only that, but you got the best chefs, you got the best weightlifting staff, you got the best conditioning staff, you got all the resources, you got chefs that's gonna cook you whatever you need, everything that you need to do the basics of not a superstar, a professional athlete. He won't do. He's worse. Like Kawhi's worse than that. Kawhi putting the work in. He just getting hurt. Zion getting hurt because he won't put the work in.
Oh, he putting the work in. He putting the work in. He walking back and forth to McDonald's every damn day.
Exactly. All right.
Wait. See my thing with Zion is I don't think. See these newer. I'm gonna say these younger athletes. I don't feel like they have the love of the game like the older athletes was.
Don't they go into being a superstar?
It does. But wait. Let me go. I remember Kobe. Kobe said, Kobe in the gym 2 hours before practice start. 2 hours after practice start. He said, why would I pass the ball to somebody who come to practice when it's supposed to start and leave when it's supposed to end? That's pointless. I mean, you're not trying to get better.
You're not doing it. But
Kobe had the love for the game. He said he wanted to be the best, and to be the best, you had to do what?
Put the work in.
You gotta win.
Yeah.
But winning and putting the work in, it comes hand in hand. These young kids these days, they get these $100 million contracts. They don't care no more. They said, why would I care? Just like a couple of years ago. The Cavaliers drafted that kid, Anthony Bennett. You remember?
Yeah.
Number 1 overall. He pepperoni pizza himself right out of the NBA. That's why I say they get this money, they stop caring. They care about it until they make it. Now, I got $98 million in the bank. I'm good. I'm just breeze on through. I don't care. Fuck it. That's how I feel.
All right.
And wait. And who says Ja or Zion was on Kawhi level anyway?
They're considered superstars in the league, is what I'm saying. Stephen A. Smith, he didn't say on the level. Stephen A. Smith said the worst superstar in the history of sports.
Based on the availability only.
Okay, but Zion's not available because he won't get in shape to be available. John Morant is not available because he won't put a gun down in public to be in the NBA.
I know what I got one more thing. Like I gotta say this. You went to the best schools. You stay in the best neighborhood.
Come on,
but
man.
now you want to drop down and act like you live on the north side of St. Louis.
And
why?
I don't know.
Why? You made it.
We lived on the north side of St. Louis. We would love to not have lived there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it is, but it is what it is. But let me get back. Gilbert Arenas. Remember Gilbert Arenas?
Yeah, Agent Zero.
Yeah. Agent Zero. Bringing guns in the locker room. 50-game suspensions. What did he do after he got his big money? Nothing, because he got hurt.
I told you, when they get that money, it's like a curse.
Look, all I'm saying is I'm just naming players across sports that are worse superstars. I mean, because if you're saying that Kawhi is the worst superstar because he's not available, what about people who are not available because they're suspended? Kawhi's getting hurt but he's putting the work in. Zion ain't putting the work in. All right. Let me see. What else we got? What about Manny Ramirez? Baseball. Suspended 2 different times. Steroids, right? I believe he had a 50-game suspension and a 100-game suspension. Is that not a worse superstar?
You got to talk to Stephen A. Smith about that. I ain't say he was the worst.
I'm just saying. I had, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to address the Stephen A. Smith, right? Because...
Shit, Mark McGwire got suspended for Barry Bonds.
What are we talking about?
Sammy Sosa did.
Okay, so how is a man who doesn't get in any legal trouble, not getting suspended, is getting hurt on the court, putting the work in to come back, he just can't stay healthy? How is he the worst superstar ever? I get your points about availability because you have to be available. But when you have players in the league and across sports doing stuff outside of the rules, getting themselves in trouble, how are they worse than the man who comes to work every day, when healthy, one of the best players in the league, 2 championships? Toronto ain't never had a championship until Kawhi Leonard. I promise you the people in Toronto won't say Kawhi Leonard's the worst superstar ever. Right? They were up when he was with San Antonio. They was up on the Golden State Warriors until Zaza Pachulia put his foot illegally underneath Kawhi's foot, and he got hurt. All right, Zion can't get on the court because he can't put food down. So Ron Artest, love Ron Artest. 86 games suspended because you want to beat up fans and whatnot.
But
is that the worst superstar?
Is he a superstar that was on Kawhi's level?
And when he was in Indiana, you can make the argument that when he won Defensive Player of the Year, he was the best two-way player in the NBA. Now, if you want to say Ron Artest wasn't a superstar at that time, if that's your point. If you want to say that, I think he was. I think he was one of the elite players in the league. He was hands down the best defensive player in the league. So you already almost there. So I'm trying to figure out what is the criteria to make somebody the worst superstar. Because nobody cared about the Clippers. And like, for instance, Kawhi got there. Nobody cares about the Clippers. The reason why they talk about the Clippers on ESPN and FS1 is because Kawhi Leonard's on the team. Right? The reason Paul George wanted to go there, because they got Kawhi. The reason why Westbrook is there, because of Kawhi. The reason James Harden wanted to go there, because they got Kawhi. How is this the worst superstar? Ain't nobody trying to go play with Zion. People running there to go play with him. Right?
No, see, the thing about it is, would you rather go play in New Orleans or would you rather go play in L.A.? Think about it.
I agree. I would much rather go play in L.A. But when people want to go to L.A., who they want to play for? They want to play for the Lakers. But if Kawhi's on the Clippers, people want to go to the Clippers. Right?
To try to beat the Lakers.
If Kawhi was not there, none of them would be there. How is that the worst superstar? Now, when you say he's not a superstar at all, I would have to disagree with that. When you're the defensive player of the year, when you're clutch, when you're a 2-time champion, when you're a steals champion, when you've done the things that he's done, when you have been considered the best two-way player on the court, that's superstar caliber. That's superstar status. Like, I get it. He gets hurt. And you have superstars who get hurt. It happens. But I don't think you strip someone's superstar status because they get hurt unless they're not putting the work in. Right? Like, and once their play, when healthy, drops to a certain level. Because when Kawhi was on the court, it's nothing to talk about. Right? So, Are you gonna go through the history and be like, oh, this person can't be a superstar because they don't they get hurt? Like, no, we wouldn't do that. We haven't done it to anybody. Right now, injuries have stopped people from reaching superstar status, but who has ever reached superstar status and then we just take it from them unless their play on the court when healthy says they're not the same anymore? So what makes Kawhi so different? But that's why I think Stephen A. just made a ridiculous claim, and he knows that Kawhi ain't gonna say nothing. But it's clickbait. That's what I think. I think it's clickbait.
I think Stephen A. Smith every now and then he says some off the wall stuff, you know, to get some attention focused on himself. But I don't Kawhi. Like I said, I just me based on availability. I say he's between a star and a superstar.
So who are your superstars? So let me ask you this. Because you say LeBron James is the GOAT. In LA, LeBron James went through like quite a few years of not being able to be healthy on the court. Did you take superstar status from him?
But he still played more games than Kawhi did.
How many games was he playing?
I don't know that often how many games was he playing, but I'm pretty sure he played more than 40 a year.
So what would be the limit that a superstar has to play in order to lose their superstar status?
I don't think there's like my only thing like he's continuously injured. Like there's nothing wrong with getting injured like this year and then you have like 2 or 3 good years then get injured again. It's like every year he's getting injured and missing all these games.
Okay, so let me read this off for you. This is LeBron James games in the Lakers uniform. 55, which would not have him eligible for any awards if they play under today's rules, right? 67 would. 45, he wouldn't qualify. 56 wouldn't qualify. 55 wouldn't qualify. And then he played 71 this year. So underneath the rule today, the 65 game, he wouldn't qualify for all NBAs that he's been racking up setting records for. He wouldn't qualify. So LeBron James has not been available. The man's been playing less than 60 games almost every year in the Laker uniform. But yet no one saying he's not a superstar anymore.
But you want to know why? See, LeBron James, when you get to a certain level,
when
you get to like if you want to be the Michael Jordans, the LeBrons, the Stephens, you can sit out this second back-to-back game. You can do that when you want to. That's where a lot of his games come from. He ain't playing that back-to-back. He's not injured. They're just resting those godly feet.
But if your point is availability, LeBron James ain't been available.
I bet he's been available for more than 40 games a year. You said you were saying 50, 60. Okay.
But is that being available?
I mean, people can't rest no more. My thing with Kawhi, if Kawhi, he getting old. If he wanted to sit down on the tail end of a back-to-back, be my guest. About 4, 5, 6 times a year if you want to, be my guest. You earn it, you deserve it. But you just can't play for 40, 50 games a year? That's different. Because that's different.
How many back-to-backs do you think the NBA has where you playing 45 games in the season? That's not that many back-to-backs.
Now was that the growing season?
So look, but this is my thing, right? LeBron James been missing games due to health and rest. But your point is availability. So you can't change the standard. If your standard is you got to be available, then everybody should have to be available to maintain superstar status. And I will understand if it was 1 year or 2 years, but here we go. As a Laker, LeBron James has played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons. And all of them but one, he's played less than 70 games. All of them but two, he's played less than 60 games. What are we talking about?
So basically,
So, is it availability or is it not availability? You can't pick and choose how that's gonna work.
let me ask you this. So in the last 4 seasons, who's been more available? LeBron James or Kawhi Leonard?
LeBron James.
Honestly. There we go. You talking about a man who's damn near 40 against a man that's 32, 31, and 30.
Is he a superstar though?
Kawhi Leonard, he'll be there.
LeBron James a superstar.
Oh, he been a superstar. He's about 20.
Is John Moran a superstar?
No.
Is Zion a superstar?
No.
So these guys you don't consider superstar. Kevin Durant, is he a superstar?
He is, but he got some shit going on too. But he's been a superstar.
How many games? What about, you want to talk about missing games? Kevin Durant to miss more games than LeBron James. So how is he still a superstar?
So, but we said
Not only that, but the man's been getting swept out the first round, but he's still a superstar. So not only is he getting swept, but I mean, I guess you could say at least he's showing up. Kawhi ain't been able to play in the playoffs. Now, if you want to say that, because if you want to say if you can't play games in the playoffs, you're not a superstar. Okay. I can kind of see that because that's when your team needs you the most. But if you just say availability, that blanket word availability, there's a lot of people we consider superstars who ain't available, and Kevin Durant ain't been looking like Kevin Durant in the playoffs. So
he ain't.
So this is what I'm saying. So it's like I think Kawhi's an easy target to point at. You know what I'm saying? To say, with the whole superstar thing, but I don't think anybody else gets held to the standard that they're trying to hold Kawhi to. And that's what I'm saying. And I think to say he's the worst superstar in sports, Adrian Peterson missed a whole year suspended due to being suspended. I mean, he had a year-long suspension because of stuff about, putting his hands on his kid. Kawhi don't do that. Kawhi don't bring you negative attention. Kawhi don't get you in trouble. Kawhi don't get suspended. Kawhi don't keep executives up at night. How is that the worst superstar?
Now, let me ask you this. Now, as a man, as the king, as the head of that household, ain't you not supposed to put foot in asses when asses deserve to have a foot in them? Yes or no?
I mean,
can you actually fault him for being a father for that?
I'm not saying that.
But he still wasn't there, though.
You wasn't there. Right? We're in a different age where people don't like the whole thought of putting hands on kids. Some people do, some people not. I ain't talking about that. I'm saying he wasn't there. And not only was he not there, he brought negative light. You know what I'm saying? So I can't look at a guy who gets into no legal trouble. He has not divided any locker rooms. He's brought championships to a team that has never had championship. The Clippers, people care about the Clippers because of him. He's bringing superstars that want to play with him. You think Ty Lue is coaching that team and Kawhi ain't there?
He's got a big contract too.
How's that the worst superstar? You got what people say is the best coach in the league because he's there. What are we talking about? Worst superstar? Come on, man.
Now you might want to try to get Stephen A. Smith on here so y'all can dish that out. I ain't gonna say he the worst, but
you won't even give him superstar status.
Okay, that's me. That's my opinion. That's mine.
You have a blasphemous opinion.
That's your opinion. So I have a blasphemous opinion. Everybody
You
got
should be
one.
ashamed of yourself. But all right, so Hey, for y'all out there watching the clip, go ahead and put in the comment section how y'all feel about Kawhi Leonard. Is he a superstar at all? Is he the worst superstar ever? Or is he been unfairly judged and he still is an elite player and superstar in the league? We
He's
want to
been
know what
he's
y'all think.
he's being unfairly judged like he really is.
Okay. Okay. I'll rock with that. All right. So, hey, about to put a close on Club 314. Appreciate y'all for watching. We out of here.